to your left, the hotel that you see over here, the building is very, very old. But it was just moved there in 1988. It's set where a real tall Marriott hotel sits, and this had been there forever, and it had been abandoned. When they built our River Center Mall, they had to move the hotel to make way for a great big Marriott hotel. So it was moved west on Commerce and south on South Alamo to this point. After it got here, they added on to the building and did a lot of things, and now the family that owns it owns several funeral homes and cemeteries here in town, and they are decorating each room in very, very expensive antiques. And so each room is just like a gorgeous, unreal place, you know, that you go into. Because of the distance it was moved, it's in the Guinness Book of Records. And they had to go and take down every traffic light, all the street lights, go under the bridges that they would be crossing over, that goes over our river, and shore them up to take the weight of this building. So it was quite an operation. It took them a couple of weeks to make the move from that point to where they are today. And then on the other side of this little village is a Hilton Hotel. It too is in the Guinness Book of Records because in 1968, when we were going to have our hemisphere, we were short of hotel rooms. As I said to you all earlier today, people came from all over the world, which shocked us, to this little country town of San Antonio, which is not so little anymore. And they needed more hotel rooms, and there was a gentleman here in town, a Pat Zachary, who owned Zachary Construction Company. He was experimenting with making modular buildings. Do you know what I mean by modular? Like your walls already made before they're ever brought on to the construction site. Sometimes a whole room will be constructed in a factory and then the whole room is moved. Well, that's what they did with that hotel. There were little houses along the riverbank where it sits today that the Irish people had built. So they moved those houses across to Hemisphere, and they began to build the foundation for the Hilton Hotel. And while all of the cement was setting up that was put on the steel beams here, they were making all those rooms about 8 miles from here. When the foundation of the hotel was ready to take the weight, they brought each room in on a flatbed truck, and a huge crane lifted that box up and slid it into place. And that's where you see the wrought iron railing outside on their balcony. That's a room. Now, the bed in that room already had its bed linens on it. The bathroom already had their towels hung up. Everything was ready for somebody to go in it about 20 minutes after it was put up there. Because out in the hallway were plumbers and electricians. And as soon as the steel girders locked and and it was safe, these plumbers and electricians ran in and connected everything. 20 minutes after that, the person that was to get that room could register with the hotel and come in. So it was quite a feat, really was.